Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me and that everyone is here. Am I audible? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, sounds good. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another episode of our live stream, or Saturday live stream, where we just build cool stuff and like learn stuff live and try things live together. So apologies for the past 2 weeks. I've been like getting some network issues that have been like throwing me out of stream. So my apologies for that. Last weekend we were working like a scanner in Rust for our compiler. We actually went pretty far with that. We built it like offline. We're just like, let's just try this offline. So we wrote some, we did some of the challenges offline. We were able to like solve some of them, which was like super exciting. So yeah, we can actually show you that, but like maybe in a different stream if we like eventually continue building our compiler. Um, so yeah, for this week, we're actually working on AI stuff. We're working on AI agent stuff rather. So we'll be building an Eliza um plugin. Yeah, so Eliza is like this popular AI agent framework that's been going around. We're building one for Fleek, and we'll be like so diving to the process and stuff. So introductions. I'm Tobiloba, and I'm a software engineer and developer advocate at Fleek. Excited to be here today. And yeah, on today, uh, right side of my screen is Mano.
Thank you very much, Toby. Hi guys, my name is Emmanuel, software engineer. Yeah, we love doing open source and love live streaming. As Toby has said, last week wasn't that great for us as we had a lot planned for the live stream, but unfortunately we had like issues with the internet connection, so we were unable to do that. But like off stream, we were able to like go a long way. We did some challenges on the Rust playground. So hopefully today we're hoping that we don't get kicked out, but or we don't get any
I,
issues
I
with it.
I
And
doubt
this
it
live,
for this week,
yeah,
but let's see
and
what
this live
happens.
is as smooth as it can be. Yeah. So this week we'll be doing building an AI agent, and yeah, anything AI. Once you just hear AI, you already know it's fun. So yeah, we should enjoy this one.
So one second, let me just try to adjust my setup, mini setup here, so I can type. Okay, so yeah, all right. So let me share my screen. So actually, I've been working on this like off stream for a bit. I actually did a couple of things on this, but and I was following this video by Neda Davids to sort of build uh, a um a plugin. So we could also watch that video live. I mean, it's no harm done. I mean, as well just like try building the Fleek plugin ahead of alongside that rather. So I'm using the Fleek SDK. So Fleek has SDKs that sort of provide most of the operations that we need. So essentially, we want the function to we want the plugin to be able to create Fleek functions and be able to deploy. Let me know when you can see my screen. Oh, okay, I think I stopped sharing.
It's not up yet.
Yeah, I was trying to share a window, but apparently you can't share a window from StreamYard. You can share your entire screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We should have the second screen here that I could use. It would be best to have like a second screen though. One sec, let me try to see if I can get a second screen.
You could open like a new window for your Chrome, like a new Chrome window,
Yeah,
and
but I need
instead
to
of
like
going on
share like
another.
yeah, but I need to share like a screen that I'll be doing writing the code on and so that I won't have to be showing all the comments and stuff. One sec, let me just get something.
Okay. Yeah. For those of us that saw announcement post, I we tagged like an article. I think yeah, an article and also a link to Flick's website. So if you had, you know, if you had like any doubts about AI agents or Eliza or Flick, as the case may be, you should probably check that out. I'll also send the link to the article now. So this article was written by Toby. So it's a good one, a good starting point. We are still finding a way to uh, what AI agents. How does it relate to whatever it is you are doing? So you just go there and then have a good read uh, of AI agents and how they work, basically. So you also have one from the Flick docs. Going to be sharing that also. Well, yeah. So AI agents are really really cool. Like think of having like someone do all your tasks, all these boring tasks. Like maybe you have like maybe a social media account, yeah, they're trying to manage and all. So you could have an AI agent. All you need to do is like give it the what's it called, the character file, then it's able to like operate on your behalf basically. So it's really really cool to think about it. Okay, I think why Toby is trying to figure out how to make the sharing possible. We could just go over the article together. Let me share my screen. Yeah, I hope my screen is up. Okay. Um, yeah, and again, you can drop your comments on the comment section. So on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, yeah. So or LinkedIn. So drop your comments. We are really really open to responding and interacting with you guys. So let's jump straight to the article. So Eliza AI agent and Fleek. Um, so you back in 1996, MIT Joseph, okay, probably didn't realize he was making a show when he built Eliza. Oh, so it was actually built in 1966. That's crazy. A simple program that could pretend to be a therapist. The chatbot wasn't exactly a genius, okay. Match patterns in what people said and threw their words back at them. Therapist people, okay. But something fascinating happened. People started opening up to Eliza as if it were human, sparking heated debate whether machines could actually understand us. Okay. Fast forward to today, and Eliza has been reborn. A group of developers at AI systems that has transformed the basic chatbot into something much bigger, a framework for building AI agents. Okay, so we had like a recent, turnaround with Eliza. He has been around for a while, but recently just got, reborn. Yeah, so their timing couldn't have been better. The project has blown up on GitHub, becoming this year's most popular repository. That's crazy. Developers can't seem to get enough of it, and quickly becoming the go-to tool for anyone serious about building AI agents. Hmm. So what are AI agents? So according to IBM, an artificial intelligence agent refers to a system or program that is capable of autonomously performing tasks on behalf of a user or another system by designing its workflow and utilizing available tools. So exactly what I was trying to explain. So AI agents are just simply when you have like a program or a system that is able to autonomously perform tasks. So performing tasks without maybe somebody coming to say, "Oh, you have to do this." So you already knows when to do what and how it's going to do it. So that's AI agents. So AI agent has gone beyond just a niche, with many built primarily for machine learning engineers or AI engineers. So a groundbreaking technological innovation, okay, now used by many. Um, so even use cases such as making video game NPCs. Yeah. So enter Eliza. Eliza is a lightweight AI agent framework that provides a robust foundation for building and developing autonomous AI agents. Okay, the framework's mission is to leverage collective intelligence and cutting-edge AI technologies to enable informed decision making and support the evolution of AI agents. So Eliza already has like is a framework that already has um, all the built-in configurations and stuff we're going to need to build our own AI agents, right? So the framework is designed to be both powerful and accessible, allowing both non-developers and developers to create sophisticated AI agents while maintaining a straightforward implementation process. So the essence is um, you don't want to make things too complicated, right? So building an AI agent now as compared to before. Now you don't even need to have like technical knowledge per se, right? So you just have to follow a set of instructions and you are good to go. So the implementation process is quite straightforward with Eliza. So modern AI agent architecture, you have a database, um, local file, okay, user inputs. So the user inputs to the AI agent. The AI agent goes to the database, goes to the local files, APIs, some sensors, and then it gives an output. So it's quite the AI agent actually needs like um this would I say like support system, because this is actually where it's able to like get um information, or would I say the knowledge of what is going to like use to give a sensible and a meaningful output, right? So core components, we have the input processing layer. So this layer interprets user inputs to understand intent and extract relevant information. Yeah. So we have the natural language understanding. So identifies what the user goes is. Also extract key details. Okay, content analyzer maintains conversation history and semantic parser structures complex queries. So these are just a way of you know the AI agent, right, to be able to like get that general understanding of whatever it is it's about to respond to. So if you've used like ChatGPT, you know that there's when you're sending prompt, right, to ChatGPT, it has this memory recovery, right, from conversations. So if you had asked the previous question before and you're now asking something that relates to what you asked before, it's able to like link that up with the previous question, right, and give you something close to what you're expecting. So that's what all this natural language understanding encompasses. So we have cognitive engine. So it acts as the system's brain, handling planning and reasoning. Okay, planning model tracks and prioritizes objectives, breaks tasks into subtasks, chooses action sequence, and manages computational resources. So basically, the agent is aware of several things, right? So he knows that, oh, if I'm going to be doing this, this is a more cost effective way of doing this, right? So it tries to get all those information to make sure it makes like the best decision at the best times. So that's what this is simply telling us. And we have reasoning engine. So it utilizes domain knowledge, okay, derives, derives conclusion, it manages ambiguous data, ensures solutions meet requirements. So obviously domain knowledge is very important as you want to have something that you do not have, like maybe a data file, something like that. So things that like outside of the internet, we able to have access to such information or data. Maybe are you back?
Yeah, yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Um, I was just trying to go through this article while you were trying to
Oh,
do
okay.
this.
Yeah, no
Um,
problem.
so funny how Eliza have been like around for a long while.
Yeah, that
1960.
one was actually a different Eliza. Like
Okay.
Eliza has been around since like the 80s. Like was like this sort of like assistant thingy. But
Yeah.
this one, they mostly just Eliza is like a very popular name in computer science, but
Yeah.
it's not the same Eliza. That one was a different one.
Hmm. So, but I think now it's not even gaining more traction now because like everywhere
Yeah,
you
it
go, like
is.
yeah,
Yeah, it actually is. That's true. So yeah,
you have. Uh, so, are you ready to share your screen? Let me just bring this down, or still
yeah, actually, I am.
okay. Good. So, I think the article to the comments. So, if you let me just drop this here. So, if you
Yeah, for
want
sure.
to go through it, try the comments.
Yeah, please go through that article because it has like a lot of context, and we might actually be referencing it while we build as well. Um,
Yeah.
in this live stream. So yeah, I started like building a Fleek plugin, and essentially I wanted the plugin to do a few things. Scally draw. So I wanted the plugin to be able to like say for example, you use the plugin with your AI agent, you have a conversation with it. Plugin is able to create a Fleek function for you. It's able to create a Fleek function. The plugin is then able to deploy that Fleek function. That's pretty much what I want the function to be able to do. I mean, the plugin to be able to do. So you can create the function and then you can deploy it.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, function. So yeah, this happened to be something that that what's it called? The Fleek SDK actually enables. So the Fleek has their own SDK that they've built that enables us to actually do most of these things. In your own programs or anything. You can just install it and use it in your application. So from within any of your application, your JavaScript applications or TypeScript, you can actually like leverage all of those things that Flick can do for you using the
Yeah.
SDK. So the SDK allows to do both of this. The SDK, but then
Okay.
Flick SDK, uh, yeah, Flick SDK. But then there is a slight thing because what we need this to be is to be within Eliza. We want this entire thing to be within Eliza. So you
Nice.
have your own plugin, and then when your plugin is enabled within your agent, Eliza is able to like from conversation realize that when you say I want to deploy a Flick function, for example, it's able to create that Flick function, it's able to deploy it. And now what are Flick
Yeah.
functions? They are serverless edge optimized functions that basically enable you to like do backend operations or server operations from like just like having this sort of yeah like serverless URLs. It's from like a URL rather, so you can basically just like run some operations from Click servers. Um sort of like taking away the stress from you to manage your own backend. I mean, that's the point of
Mm-hmm.
serverless. Well, Fleek has something called Fleek functions that helps with that. Um, and I want from conversation, we want Eliza to be able to figure out. Um, I mean, this is how most plugins work, anyways. So Eliza just acts as a wrapper around them. Plugins enable like
Mm-hmm.
special abilities in Eliza.
Yeah.
So what we want is that we want the Eliza plugin, Eliza rather itself, to be able to like use the Fleek function, um, Fleek plugin, which should be another wrapper here. So most of this is just like wrapper. Just think onion, onion, onion. So there's another. So
Sorry.
so like
Yeah.
yeah. So we want plugin, Fleek plugin rather, to be a wrapper on top of this that we can like
Yeah.
reference or call. That then calls the Fleek SDK. My bad. That then calls the Fleek SDK to now be able to do these operations. But before you're able to actually get to create the Fleek function, you actually need the function itself. So functions itself are like normal functions. That is like maybe a JavaScript
Mm-hmm.
function that does something, which means it has to be in a file. So you need to actually deploy that file, create a Fleek function, then link to that file. No, sorry, you need to actually store that file somewhere,
That,
create a Fleek function, then you deploy that file as a Fleek function. Then that file gets run run rather on Fleek servers. So that's pretty much the entire process. So you need a file to go into the SDK. So from the Fleek plugin, maybe you call another operation. Let me reduce
so
this
you need to
arrow.
create a file first, yeah, within um
Say
the
your own
what's it called?
local, maybe your own
Yeah,
local. Yeah,
and then inside the function you now create. I mean, inside the file you now have to like create a flick function inside, right?
exactly. You
Which will
write a
then
JavaScript function that does something. Yeah, any operation you want to do.
yeah
Maybe it's calling an API, maybe it's returning hello world. As long as it's a function that does something.
yeah.
So
So that
essentially,
function
what
will
we,
now be
yeah, exactly. That function will not be deployed. Yeah.
okay. Makes sense.
So essentially, we want to create a function file, create and upload rather, upload. So we create and upload a function file, create and upload a function file, create a Fleek function, and then you deploy that Fleek function. It's probably too big to use that. And this is pretty much the entire process of what we want to do. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, actually, because I was working on this earlier this week, I actually wrote a script that was able to do that for me directly from Fleek. I mean, directly from my machine. So I give it any file, any JavaScript function file. It's able to like um uh it's able to like create a Fleek function for me. After creating the Fleek function, it's able to then deploy that file for me as a Fleek function, and then it gets run. So I'm going to be showing you that file in action now, which means I've completed most of this part, which is this Fleek SDK part to operate this. So now most of the live stream here will be focused on us converting that same logic I've written to plugin logic, and then make Eliza be able to use that plugin,
Yeah.
to be able to
But
use that logic.
would it be a good? I was thinking if it would be like a good starting point for us to like show if we were to do like a deploy like a Flick function, right, without any AI or any plugin, like a straightforward way that you could go to Flick the XYZ and then
Hmm.
create a function to deploy. Like, would that be a good starting point for us to like show the viewers, just for like people that are not like familiar
Yeah, for
with
sure.
Flick?
We can totally deploy a Flick function. Deploying a Flick function is as easy as going to the docs. So
Okay.
most the easiest part to like deploy a Fleek function is like using the using the CLI, or you can also deploy from UI too, but you still eventually have to come back to the CLI. So you just go here. So creating a function is as easy as this. Obviously you have your file, you can have your function file code here, and then all you have to do is you can even use your Fleek function to like make requests, like I said. So you can
Okay.
use them to like pass requests here and make API calls directly from them. I mean, because it's like a server on its own. So I mean, because you're putting it on a server of its own rather, so you can actually make those requests. Um, Create your Flick function, and then you just deploy your function. As easy as this. We can like go through this like real quick so that you can see that in action. First, you need to make sure you have this Flick CLI. Installing the Flick CLI, quick start. Probably needs to redone. So this is how you install the Flick CLI. You make sure that you install this Flick CLI by running this command to install the Flick CLI globally for you. I already have the Flick CLI, so I can just check that by running Flick like this. So I can see that I have most of this already configured for me. Like I can log in and stuff and other things. For you to deploy a Flick function, because you are deploying to your own account here at app.flick.xyz, if you come here, we will see that I have many of these functions here already. Like if I go to functions, I have many of these functions created here already. Like there's so many functions that I've deployed. So we can just come here. I have to log in first for my terminal, or else we may run into some auth issues while deploying the
Yeah.
function. So I run flick login as the command says. I don't know why I opened on this tab, but this is what I'm seeing on my screen. Let me just open it so that because I'm not sharing this other screen. So I run flick login, it brings me here. I
Okay.
essentially just confirm, and I'm signed in. So if I go back to my terminal, I see that success. You are now logged in to the Flick platform for my CLI. I come back to the
Yeah.
docs. Now let's deploy a Flick function. So I already have this Flick function file here that I was testing with. So I have this test.js here file that just says hello world.
Okay.
So now when you are using a Flick function, you have to ensure that you're exporting. And the reason for that is that the main function is an entry point. So you have to always make sure that when you're naming your function has the name main. Doesn't mean that you can't write helper functions that are in other parts of the code that you then come and call in main. That's pretty much how it is because main will be the entry point into your program. Um, so yeah,
Okay.
if it will not compute unless you name the function main rather. You can learn about export declaration. Yeah, you have
So
to
it means
ensure
that
that.
if you have like other functions you call,
Mm-hmm. What do you say?
you can call them within the main
Yeah, you can call them in
function.
main. Yeah,
I
exactly. Yeah,
said it means that if you have
correct, correct. Yeah.
okay,
Exactly. So
yeah, makes
then you have
sense.
to ensure that you're exporting the function as well because you need the function to run on your server and Flick has its own runtime um on the server where it runs all these Flick functions for you. So you export the function and name it main. Flick is able to see that function and it can like sort of run it for you
Mm.
on our secure optimized servers. So yeah, so you essentially like I was saying now, so we already have our function created here, test.js. And now let's deploy
Okay.
test.js and see it in action. So we create a function name, and this is how you create the function. Flick functions create. You can change this name to whatever you want. Say let's just say test.js function. You can name it anything. So Flick functions create and give it a name. So now if I create this function, so it asks me to select a project. So I can actually select my main project, which is Tobiloba. So these are all the projects tied to my account. If I come back here, you can verify that it is the same.
Yeah.
So you can see all these many projects I
Okay.
have here. So that's what I'm seeing in my terminal here. But I'm currently on Tobiloba, so I'm just going to use the Tobiloba project. So it switches to Tobiloba for me, and then if I come back here, it tells me that the function has been created. Maybe just a refresh here. I should probably see the function here. Yeah. So the function is here, but it
Yeah.
has not been deployed yet. So when we deploy it now, you also get a URL as well, a dummy URL, a randomly generated URL for a function, but no deployment yet. So, but you do see the function has been created, and it tells you that you have not deployed anything yet. So now we can come back to deploying our function, and all we have to do rather. We already saw that in terminal here. So success function has been created. Switch to Tobiloba. So now we deploy. So now all we have to do is run this command. And what this command does is that it says flick functions deploy, and then it takes the name of the function we are deploying to, as well as the path
Yeah.
to where our function is
But
from where we are currently running the
yeah.
command. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Like
basically
the
just
relative
take
part.
this. Yeah, exactly, relative path. So basically just take this. This may still ask us some CLI questions, but we can just change this part. So where we are currently at now is inside Eliza. So we need to go to sorry, we need to go to packages. We need to go to plugin, Fleek, and then we need to go to SRC, and we need to go to
Everything
test.js.
there is.
Can also deploy TypeScript functions to rather. Um, Fleek bundles that for you as runtime. Uh, so you don't have to, yeah, it transpiles for you rather. So we just give this name of the function we are deploying to, which is to test.js function.
Every function.
Test.js function. Now we run this command, run it, spawning our code, which means we found the file to the function, uploading code to IPFS, checking for availability, and then the function is deployed live, and it gives us the same URL that we had here. So if we refresh this one now, we see that it has been updated to active.
That was
Yeah,
super quick.
yeah, really, really cool. So you can just view the function. Yeah, we see the compiled code as well. So this is the compiled code. The file we had before was compiled and bundled, or the bundled code rather. Yeah, same thing. Was compiled or bundled, and we got this as the output of the code. Got the flick URL, got the name of the function, got the function here, and the bundled function. So we can just view the function, and we'll see. Before we're seeing no deployment found, now we see hello world. So that is how you deploy a Flick function.
Yeah. Like it's super easy and super straightforward, and you basically just have to like do once you have the function, basically the rest of the stuff are like very easy to just get across.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with you on 100% on that. But yeah, so essentially now we want an Eliza AI agent to be able to do this entire process for you, so that you don't have to do
Mhm.
all of this manually. Though it's very fun to do and easy to do. You can even do super
Exactly.
cool things. You can use Axios within Flick functions. You can use WebSockets within Flick functions. You can do so many cool things within Flick
Mhm.
functions. You can use them to make API calls. You can use them to serve websites. There are so many things Flick functions can do for you. But now let's now take a step back to having an AI agent, an Eliza AI agent, be able to do all of this for us through conversation, maybe on your own Telegram, on Twitter. You can just tell it to deploy a Flick function for you, and it just can't do that for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's try that now and see that in action. So essentially, we are going back to this onion diagram where we essentially showed you this process just now. The Flick SDK can do that. I wrote a script already for that can help do these three things, and I'll explain the code as well. And then Emmanuel and I would focus on now getting the Flick plugin built into Eliza and show
Nice.
the entire process. So one sec, let me just go to my code here real quick and test file.ts. I think I should share you live share now. Should give you live share now, rather. I sent it to the private chat. Let me know if you've gotten it.
Yeah, I've gotten it. So one sec.
Okay, awesome. You've gotten a year.
Yeah. I think I have access to the file now.
Oh yeah, I see. Nice. So let me know if you can't see the screen. Apologies for that. But also feel free to drop comments, drop questions if you have any questions. If you have any questions about serverless functions,
Yeah,
have any questions about Fleek or anything, feel free to drop them in the comments. So yeah, it's like credentials. Um, so essentially the process was me just using my Fleek SDK, and how I did that was you get a personal access token. So obviously this is uh what you use as your um authentication, set up your Fleek SDK. You get a project ID, which is your project ID from here. So your project ID can be gotten directly from here.
the SDK.
No, from here, like
The
from your
project
own,
ID is
from
gotten
your
from.
no, from your website, from your own Fleek
Oh,
account. So you have to make sure that you have a Fleek account
yeah,
because you need a Fleek account to be able to authorize it. And how do you create a Fleek account? You just go to app.fleek.xyz. Because I'm signed in,
yeah,
it's probably like requirements. So you sign in, you create an account, and then you get your own first project as well. I haven't deleted this project, so you get your first project assigned to you. You can create more projects as many as you want. To create a to get your own Flick account and to get your project ID, you basically just copy from this URL here. Within this URL, whatever project I switch to, you see that the project
yeah,
ID changes depending on the project.
yeah,
So yeah, it changes. So because I'm using this Tobiloba project, this is my project ID. So yeah, get your project ID. You generate the personal access token. And how do you generate the personal access token? To generate the personal access token is very straightforward. You can do it directly with this Flix CLI, and all you have to do rather, sorry here, and all you have to do rather is run this command in your terminal. So flick part create. So it generates your a personal access token for you directly from your terminal. You can delete personal access token and you can also list it. Because I've publicly shared this personal access token, I mean actually need to delete it soon. Um so yeah, like I was saying, you get your access token. You create an access token service. So you essentially create. So this is how you are basically create authenticating into your Flick account. So you create the personal
yeah.
access token. You use the
That's
personal
why.
access token service. Yeah, exactly. From the Flick SDK. And because we're working with Eliza, which means we're using Node. So it has like two. So like either Node, sorry, SDK. Is that like browser or Node? But because we're not working in a browser environment, which means we're not using it on like a front end application or something, we're using it on like a Node.js
Yeah,
server. So we're using the Fleek platform slash SDK slash Node. So yeah. So you create your own personal access token, which is gotten from the Fleek SDK um, um, package. You pass in your personal access token, pass in your project ID, like I've done here, to create your own access token service. And now you now create a new SDK instance with your access token service, which is essentially these two objects. I'm sorry, which is essentially the return object of creating a new personal access token service. You pass that in here to the Flick SDK, and voila, you actually authenticated yourself and you've created a new Flick SDK instance that you can now do anything with. So all of these top parts is essentially just
yeah.
authentication. So this is just like
Mm-hmm.
authentication to your account, your Flick account. So now if we're creating a Flick plugin, we're going to require personal access token and project ID from a user because that is what we actually use to auth them to their own Flick account so that we can maybe deploy their own Flick functions for them. And now, so yeah, so now
Yeah,
for you to deploy a Flick function, remember I had to give it a name. Uh, then I run this immediately invoked function expression because it has to run on its own. It shouldn't be called from somewhere. So I use an IIFE here, immediately invoke function expression, sort of call this asynchronous function that basically just takes files
Yeah.
that basically just read this file from my part, the test.js file, and what it does is it starts to upload. It starts an upload instance, which means just like begins like I uploading the file to my storage. So any Flick function I create, for every Flick
Yeah.
function created, you've actually uploaded a file in the process. So the function we just uploaded, which was test.js, a couple of we just deployed the function, right? Maybe this function.js. I probably changed the name or something.
Test
Uh,
function.
so this was the hello world we just deployed like a couple of seconds back. So we can actually see the code directly
Yeah.
here. So for every Flick function created or deployed, you actually get what did I just close? You actually get a file uploaded for you directly to your Flick storage. Um, so now because we are
So the
using
file is
yeah,
the bundled code. I said the
yeah,
file is
exactly.
going to contain the bundled.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's like what's going to be run. Um so yeah, what I essentially did here is I took that file, I uploaded it with the Flick SDK directly. So you can just call storage, then call the upload file function
File.
and pass in the object. It has to take file. I think it takes like name or something like that as well. So upload file takes like upload progress, takes the file name, takes some other argument as well, parents, but some of them are optional. But on upload progress is a function you can call to like maybe while the function is uploading, you want to do something else. Um, so yeah,
Mm-hmm. You want to
I think
display like a progress.
yeah,
I said like the upload on upload. I think to display the progress of the
yeah,
upload.
exactly.
The progress.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. If you wanted to maybe do something like that, so then when the file uploads, I show this file uploaded, show whatever file I just uploaded, and then now I create the function. Now you see the process basically similar to what we just did now via the CLI. So now creating the results, I
Yeah.
just call the click SDK again. I obviously have to await because most of these are synchronous operations. So if you know
Yeah.
JavaScript, you know that. Yeah. So few functions are functions. Call the functions function within the Flick SDK. I mean method rather. It's actually technically a method. Call this functions method within the Flick SDK,
You
then
call
call
it.
the create method, and then you just pass the name directly because that's how you need to create a Flick function. Now you get your create results details back. And what do you need from that? You need your function ID as well as your content ID, which is um, uh, the uh, the ID of the content that you just deployed. So every content deployed on IPFS or yeah has like a sort of their own ID
Their
rather,
own
like
identifier.
yeah their own sort of like it's a random string that is tied to that value to let you know that okay this is the ID to give you access
Mm-hmm.
to this file or something. You can even see that from the UI or something. If we viewed this, it's mostly around here, mostly this value, this random string here that denotes the ID. You can see like copy IPFS hash or something. So you can see this value that is like the content ID that identifies that specific file, for example. So every file deployed to IPFS always has
Yeah.
a random string assigned to it that that stands as the ID rather. Um, so yeah, we just call the upload file results function, call the pin because pin is a value that will give us access to either size or CID, which is what we need.
Right.
Um, yeah, but CID is what we need. We don't need the pin. So and all we do is now pass that deploy function argument object directly to the deploy method. Call Flick SDK now to deploy. Call functions as well. Now call deploy. Then pass in these details that you need here. Then your function is deployed, and that is pretty much the entire process to run a deploy function. I mean, to deploy your function via the Flick SDK. We can test this out. Can even deploy. Uh, yeah, you can use it to, yeah, you can use the Flick storage for anything like uploading images or anything of the sort. And let me just
Yeah.
show you this in action. LSCD to
So I think the Fleek XDK has like um it has like essentially everything you want to do around Fleek.
exactly,
So if you
exactly,
are able to like create the Fleek XDK, you could like get methods and stuff to run things you want.
exactly. So now I want to run the function now, and the function is inside something called test file.tss ts. So now I have to install this tsx so that I'm able to run uh TS files with Node because at the moment, yeah, I know there's a newer node that can actually allow you to run TS, but I'm not able to directly run TS. But because I don't want to, I actually didn't explore that to see if I could make it work. I'm sure there's a way to make it work, but I just use TSX as well because this can help me to just run my TypeScript file. Um, so with Node, so I just call this now. Uh, there's an error. Cannot find test file.tsx. Oh, is it not here? Let me ls again, see what I'm looking at.
Yeah, you file path.
Said you cannot find my bad. Said you cannot find imported from plugin fleek. Said you cannot find test file.ts. But this is the file though, right? See what's going on. Let me run that command again. So what we are doing is calling we're inside src already. We're just calling test file.ts for you to run the file, unless you did spell it correctly. No, this is correct. Let's run this again. How does it keep saying that? Cannot find module
Model.
this, but this is the correct part, right? Fleek, Eliza plugin starter, Eliza packages, plugin fleek. Then, oh no, that's not correct. It's inside
This is
SRC,
yeah, not plugin Fleek. Oh, plugin
but no,
Fleek. You don't need
SRC.
direct. Yeah, it's supposed to be plugin Fleek SRC.
But it's supposed to see it though. Like we are not supposed to actually
Yeah, because the
the
terminal is like within.
But let's run this, see what happens. Okay, now it's running it. So starting to upload. Now it uploaded the file. Oh, I've reached the maximum number of Flick functions for this project. So it's nice that I actually got this. So let's delete a few Flick functions, I guess. Maybe you need to upgrade to a pro plan. I can't believe I actually hit the limit. Unless I switch to a different
Or
project.
you
So let me just
even like a project.
yeah, exactly. I could do a new project for it actually.
Mm-hmm.
But I could delete a few. I guess it's not there's no
Yeah,
harm there.
test,
Most of
yeah,
these
test
functions
function.
are like hello world, hello world. Let me just delete them. So yeah, you can actually delete your Flick functions if you want to like free up space and stuff, or you can create a new project. And why is it still just taking this? Can this, or you can also create a new project and get like and then switch to that, get a personal access token for that project, and then you're good to go as well. Let's view this deployment to be sure. Yeah, this is also hello world, so we can just delete this.
Yeah.
Uh, I should also delete this at the moment. There's space in front, so delete the function. See if there's anything I need to delete here. Maybe I can delete this one. Just leave it. 3 months ago. I think this was a test as well. So you can also delete deploy your Next.js projects directly on Fleek, and yeah,
Yeah.
harness that power. So yeah, now that that's sorted, now let's run this again. I mean, it was able to create the function for us, right? Oh yeah, he uploaded the file. But let's run this again. Oh no, not this. This will run to an error. It wants SRC from us.
Yeah.
Starting to upload. So then it starts by uploading that function. It starts by uploading the file, gets us a CID back, which is why I told you, like you saw those random values. It creates the
Yeah.
function, it returns this back to us, gives us function ID, name of the function, tester function that we have here. The slug, which is going to be in the URL of the function, defining copy shop millions, status active, current deployment ID null, current deployment null, so it wasn't deployed at the point. So now we deployed the function and give us this back, give us function ID, time, and the ID of the
CID.
function, CID as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it kept the same CID all through, yeah, same CID for the file. So if you come here and we refresh this, we should actually see tester function here already. Yep. So deployed 48 seconds ago, so we can view the deployment. So essentially just run deploying this hello world file directly from our script with the Flick SDK. So yeah, you see the hello world there.
Yeah.
You can do more cool stuff,
Super,
not just
super.
hello world. Yeah, I've done it like
Yeah. So,
I did this cool thing like a couple of months back where I did like an ENS lookup, and I put it directly on. I deployed an ENS lookup function that basically you just type your ETH name and it can fetch your balance for you and stuff. And I put that directly on Fleek. I don't know if that project is still here, but there's so many cool stuff you can do with deploying. I think it's this ES build. I think I did it in ES build or either with this or with like a okay, it's not this one then. Either with this or with like a because you can also bundle bundlers, I guess. You can use bundlers rather to bundle some of your Fleek functions if you want
yeah.
them on Fleek. So because there are some of the functions will not be able to run directly. So maybe in case you installed a package, say Lodash or something, you may not be able to deploy that directly. So you need to like bundle that first so that you get the bundled codes that you can then deploy directly to Fleek. Uh, yeah. So I think this Web3 workshop has the ENS lookup as well. Uh, so when I did the workshop, I think I also showed it then. Yeah. Oh wait, maybe I removed it then. I must have removed it. But I did know I did an ENS lookup service directly on a Flick function where you can just like type in your ENS name and then it fetches it for you. And yeah, so I'll find out eventually. But yeah, so back here, essentially what I'm saying is that you can actually put anything on Flick functions, even websites and uh, anything you want can be served from Flick functions. So yeah, so we essentially just deployed a Flick function with our SDK. Um, and yeah, we saw it on Flick to verify that it was actually live. So I can just clear this now, and we can come back here. So now I'm focusing on our application. So essentially, what I've done so far, I was following this video by Neda to build a custom plugin, and what I've done so far is I created a Flick function response, I created a Flick deployment response, which is based on everything we saw in the terminal just now.
Yeah.
What else did I do? Yeah, index.ts, which basically means the actions that we want to enable in our Flick function. So we obviously want a create Flick function action, we want a deploy Flick function action, and want a list Flick function action. Services, this will be like the core code of our Flick function and what creates our Flick function, how our Flick function is supposed to respond, what actions are supposed to be triggered based on certain maybe queries from our AI agents. Environment is like what environment variables we're working with. Like I said before, we're working your Flick function, your Flick personal access token, and your project ID. So yeah, we are going to check this at runtime because if you check your Eliza EMV, you actually see so many of these um, EMVs that are required for some other services for you to run them. So essentially, Fleek path and Fleek project ID
Yeah.
would belong here. Um, so yeah, this is me just checking. So we still need to fix some things there because these are not correct. So we'll probably start from there. And now example. So what kind of conversations you may be having with your agents to determine what action will be triggered. So these are the actions I have. So depending on this, it will be like, or maybe the user can be like, oh, I want to deploy a serverless function. You'll be like, oh yeah, sure, sounds
Mhm.
good. And then what action will be triggered? And then maybe the user asks a question, like with Eliza, you can actually have a set of words that can trigger a sort of action from a plugin. There are so many plugins that can show you in actions. For example, 3D generation, uh, image generation. There are certain things you can say when you are using a certain plugin, and you can actually use that to trigger something. I was showing the movement plugin a few days back, where I could use Eliza to actually fetch my movement token balance, and I can actually use Eliza to also make transaction. Like I can use it to send tokens to somebody's account by just having a conversation. So yeah, these examples of TS are things that we would actually edit to match sort of what was I saying? We edit to sort of match depending on what action we are trying to trigger. So we have the words that maybe the guy can say, oh, I want to deploy a flick function or something. So we'll edit this as well. What else would we be editing? So index.ts, which I think is where we should start from. And then we'll go to environment, and then we'll start creating writing the code for each of the actions to create, deploy, and list your flick function. So you can actually list your flick functions, yes. Um so yeah, that's pretty much it. Why are you feeling more?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's actually straightforward. If we're able to, highlight what we want, essentially want the Eliza plugin to do, we just have to, do all the configurations and then we're good to go. So I think we can start with making edits in the index. I think is it in the index? Yeah. Yeah, or the service.ts. So
Okay, yeah,
if we're
got
able to
it.
get all the components up, and then we can start writing functions too.
So yeah, NADA actually built like this sort of NASA plugin to showcase this in action. Um, we may just be following the code in that plugin to sort of rebuild our own plugin sort of ID service rather. So how
Okay.
the actions are written, how what environments are written. I can share this link to you in private chat as well. Mm-mm-mm. So yeah, we can basically just follow that entire same process to building our own plugin. Yeah,
Um, environment. Okay. So we can start with the
index.
configurations.
Yeah, sure. So index.tx. So in index.ts, let me just on comment everything here. So if you look at what he has here, essentially imported rather the plugin because you need the plugin type from Eliza. Of course, that's to match the Eliza plugin type. The create flick function
Mhm.
action that we'll be implementing soon. The deploy flick function action, as well as the list flick function action, which is just to list your flick functions that you have in your account. So now, the name of the plugin, Fleek, description for Eliza to create and deploy Fleek functions, the actions we'll be using, which are essentially these three actions that we've listed out here. You can also add evaluators and providers as well. Let's see what these do. So an evaluator can, okay, sort of add some other
And
actions.
actions taken by the agents. Okay. They run after each agent's action, allowing the
Yeah,
agent to reflect on what happened and potentially trigger. Okay. Uh, so sort of like an after effect after triggering an action.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And then
And then we
providers as
have
well.
pro- supply informations and states to the agent's context, help agent access necessary data. Okay, this makes sense. So this is like a uh, data storage point for the plugin.
It has
Uh,
past the agent's runtime, the memory where you want the message, which is essentially where the memory is, maybe a DB or something, and then a state. What is a state? A state is like, oh, state is actually very detailed. So like room ID, action names, actions data, bio,
so that
lore, sort of like another like agent
mm-hmm.
memory like structure to help the agent sort of figure out maybe some other information you want it to have or context. So yeah, I think that's pretty much
Yeah, exactly.
that's pretty much what's needed for index.ts. You just need to enable all those. So we go to environment.ts as well. And environment.ts essentially wants the which is us just checking the environment variables. I essentially want the user to just provide a personal access token and a project ID so that we are able to then be able to set up the whatever details we need from the user directly into our own plugin from the agent's runtime. So we just say Fleek part, yeah, as well as Fleek
Mm-hmm.
project ID, console log. I'm logging the config to see whatever comes in the EMV schema, which is just this here. So we're using Zord to
What we
validate
have
that.
on top here.
Yeah, we're using Zord to like validate that okay, this matches what is here. And then
Any
there's
part
an error. Yeah, what do you say? You say something?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm here. No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
no.
I bet. So if there's an error, you just throw that error and be like, oh, hey, there's an error. You have an error and stuff. So yeah, now that all of that is done, I think
So
we
I
should
think
focus on writing the services.
that
What do you say?
yeah, I said and now the configurations are set and we can like go ahead with these ones.
Exactly.
So
So let me just bring the types here real quick. So I already wrote the types for uh creating a flick function, the response you get back, and as the one as well as the one for deployment. I guess the only one missing here would be response for maybe listing flick functions. Yeah, should
yeah.
probably like try to list flick functions to see from the SDK. So the SDK is like our point of reference where we can sort of try things that we want.
Mm-hmm. So okay, you can run that file again and try to like see.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, there's actually a list. Does it take anything? It doesn't take any arguments. So you just list out. You can actually get the types from here.
Within
What'd you say? Did you say
like the
something?
functions we are trying to fetch has to be like within. I said the function has to be like within the project. So how
Yeah,
does he
exactly.
know what project we are?
Yeah, that's actually what I'm trying to see. But okay, we've already passed
Except
in
if
the
you are
access token. We've passed in the access token and project ID here.
passing the
And
project
since we're
ID.
calling, yeah, since we're calling Flick SDK, I think to figure it out. Since we already used that to create our
Already
SDK instance.
within project ID.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's run this now. So it uploads. Yeah, there's already a function with that name. So let's just change this a bit. Actually, we don't even need to deploy a new function. We just need to list. I should probably have commented out
You know,
those code.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. So I think that's it.
But
The, the did list.
yeah, it did. It
Okay,
created
list
an
of
array.
functions.
Yeah, an
So an
array that
array of
contains these objects.
Yeah, just copy that object.
So this object now can convert into to a type. All we have to do is, I mean, to an interface, yeah, type, whatever. I'll just do this. Fleek functions list. So this will essentially
List.
be an array of, yeah, sorry, that's why I put
Mm-hmm.
this array in here. An array of all these values. So this will be a string,
So let me see.
also string. I think most of them will just be strings.
But I think the status will be active and it has to be like two. So
Oh yeah,
if it's not active, it's, I don't know what the second one. Maybe we'll probably check anyone that's not yet deployed. Or
let's
we
see.
could run another one without deploying it.
Yeah, that is actually smart. I think it's
So that
between
should give
active and
us
not deployed, but I don't know how that not
on
deployed is written.
exactly the um how the enum is going to be defined.
So let me remove this.
So just remove the deployment part and just
Yeah, let's run this again. You're right. Uh, it's probably I need to go and delete some more Flick functions because we just actually created more. So yeah, actually, it still came out with the status of active, the T function.
all
Wait
of
one sec.
them.
It's supposed to like list Flick functions. Yeah, why is it not listing? It's supposed to clear the terminal, so I'll know which one is which. But I can just search for it, I
Yeah.
guess. T.
One.
Yeah, still came out with the status of active actually.
Mm.
Let's
But if
just
we
do.
check the flick, okay, we should just do a string. I was yeah. So if you refresh now, but there's even demo function that is not deployed.
Exactly. So, but wait. What page am
So
I
why?
on? Okay. Yeah, yeah. It
Okay.
actually has status of not deployed here, but it came back with the status
Deployed.
of active here. So maybe that's something that needs
Yeah,
to
are we
be.
sure? So that's not. This is tester. Okay, this is
Yeah,
T function here.
yeah, still active.
Still
We
active.
can just make it active or something. Yeah, I don't know. Active or inactive.
Or we could leave it as a string
Yeah, let's put
since
string
we're
there
not
for now.
sure. Put a string for now.
This also will be a string. This as well will be a string. This will be a string as well. Yeah. This CID, yeah, will be a string. Yeah. So Flick functions list, we created the interface for that, and we know it's an array that contains objects with all these details. So I think that's pretty much the types for all three of them. So we are using this script as our testing ground. So anything we need, we just come and use the Flick SDK script here to run anything we need. So let me actually delete those two
Yes.
functions that we didn't use. You can actually delete directly from you can delete directly from the SDK as well, which is something cool. You don't actually need to come to the UI all the time.
Yeah.
So is there a space in front? Okay, there is. Okay, awesome. Yep. So back to our code. So now we need to start modifying all of these types. I mean, we're already exporting all three of them, so we just copy paste.
Yeah.
So we're not using a URL because we're working with the SDK. So we need to import the SDK like we've done in the script. Why are we getting these errors here? Oh, duplicate identifier. My bad. I thought I copied this. As no exported member. What does that mean? We're exporting them though. Where are we using them?
Wait,
Services.
base URL. Why am I saying it's like okay? It's like this live share is kind of slow on my end because on my end it's still I'm still seeing this mass provide data response. Which is updated that already.
Oh, Mars or which one? Oh, this one. Which one are you referring to?
No, I think mine is taking time to
Oh, okay. Yeah, no
like
problem.
the top of the import
Oh, you mean the
area.
import? Oh yeah, maybe
I was going to check.
should we reshare
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
thank you, but I just want to. Mm, I don't know. Wait, let me try to refresh my window first.
Okay, but wait. So why is it saying as no exported member? I mean, we are exporting these three. So why is this being weird? So what does it know? Nope, I'm not. Import types for me, bro. Why are you not seeing it? Create. Yeah, but like, why is there an error here? As no expected member. It does. Oh, there's an error that is declared by its valid number, but there's also the error that it has no exported member from here, which is weird because I am exporting it. Or do we need to do like the .ts for you to figure it out? I mean, it's still the same thing.
No, I don't think so. But
Oh
why?
wait, it's seeing a different types .ts here. Thank God I linked it to it. Thank God I linked to it because this is a different types .ts inside SRC. Then where is this types .ts? This one is outside SRC. Uh,
Wait,
so let me see
still
which
type
file.
dot TS.
Actually, I'm confused. Which is which? Uh, I was in a different. Oh, I was in a different services file. Oh yeah, I was in this one. That makes sense. So I was in this one instead of this one. And now, yeah, that actually doesn't make
Oh,
sense.
that's what I was even saying. Because what I was seeing on your screen wasn't what. So I was seeing this, and I was like, oh, why am I still seeing this since I
Oh yeah,
updated it?
yeah. My bad. Actually, doesn't make
It's
any
what I
sense.
was saying. So I was not updating on my end, though, because I wanted to update that. I was saying, oh, you were doing it already. So you're actually on a different file entirely.
Yeah, I was in a different like plugin code.
Mm,
So now that that's done,
yeah.
we don't need this URL. We need the Fleek SDK. So I'm just going to come to. Actually, I need to open that code test file here. So we're going to come to this place to import uh, both files from parts as well as this.
Okay. Um,
Okay, go. So we have both the Flick SDK code as well as the files from parts here. So we've imported all of those. So now let's see what we are going to do. So now what this needs to change is create Flick service. Create Flick service. And now what does Flick service take? what will Fleek service be taking rather? Is it just API key or does it take personal access token and
I
project
think we are
ID?
taking personal access token ID.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
this would be this is a string and project ID. Okay. So we could just get the
So we just change this one from
this one.
get our pod to like whatever we want that first action to be, which is create Fleek function, I guess. So now what does create Fleek function need? Create Fleek function just needs a name. Name as
Yeah.
a string and it returns a promise that contains create Fleek function response. So what we're checking is if there is no name, oh wait, if there is no project ID or path or no name as well, because we need the name too. So wait, are you the one writing right now?
So I think the project ID and the path should come first to check that first. Then we now check for the name because you have to
Okay,
throw different errors for
yeah, I get what you
yeah.
mean.
So this one
Yeah,
is
that makes
on the error, yeah.
all right. So do you want to write that if?
So we
Okay, I
also
can
check
write.
if
Okay, you're
mm,
writing it. You didn't write it
so
completely. I think you're missing like parentheses.
what or is
Yeah,
it
you're missing
just
parentheses. Wait, what's going on? Is there a bug?
oh no I think it's oh wait I think wait what
I just
kind of like
I just
confused
fixed it though.
because I'm okay yeah I think the section is like very slow to update so like even after I've typed something you might not see it on your end
Oh, okay.
and then when you try to fix it you try you yeah so I think this is good already so the error should um
Flick functions need a name, or you need a name to deploy a Flick function, or to create a Flick function. Provide a name, yeah. Very bad
name
with
for your
like
phone
error messages for your Flick
for your
functions
click function
function.
yeah
And now Copilot keeps generating code for us, which I'm not very sure why. But yeah, leave this. So we actually need to
let's
create
just
a
follow
new we need to create a new personal access token with
so the
whatever value.
object
Yeah, so this is correct.
mm-hmm.
So we need the personal access token that is coming in. So we'll pass that as part. And then we need the project ID. Let me just verify from this code here that is correct. Yeah, looks like it's correct. Yeah. And now is the access token service according to our script that we would then use to create a new Flick SDK instance. So I guess
yeah
we should try to create a new. Should we create a Flick SDK instance every time the request is tried, or like should we put it in the try catch or outside the try catch? I think we should put it inside the try catch.
yeah it should be inside but I was thinking if there was a way uh to like do the authentication part like once right so once you do that you just have to like call that portion of the authentication part and get whatever credentials you need because
Oh, so
I'm
maybe
thinking maybe this will be running
we put it in a separate function.
something like that that will now be called
Yeah, we
when
can
it
create
is
a
being used. But
function.
I mean, let's follow. Let's do this and
Yeah, we can refactor it
let's get
later.
this one working first. Yeah, we can do this notifications after
So we
all.
just take this code We should put it in the try catch actually, like you said. Create a new
Mm,
Fleek SDK instance, or maybe we could put it outside actually with the access token service. And then now what we need to do is because we're inside the create Fleek function, what we just need to do is Fleek functions dot creates dot whatever the name is, and that's pretty much it. So instead of this
yeah.
Fleek, yeah, pretty much that. And if are we getting an OK back? Let's check the types. Doesn't look like we're getting any status dot OK or something like that.
No, I don't think so. So the
So can we use
response for
anything to check
this,
if we should try an error or
yeah,
something?
you could do like a dot then and dot catch.
Mm, can we do it dot then as this? I mean, it should be a promise, right? I mean, we're already doing a try catch. Why do we need a dot then again?
Yeah. So another way. So I mean, there's yeah. Okay, it's throwing new error. We could even throw the error basically in the catch instead of trying to catch
Yeah,
this one.
exactly. So if the response comes back, let's just like before we even try to throw any error, if like for this, maybe in case there's an error, or we could just comment this out for now. Figure out the way to try to throw that response. My bad. I wanted to comment this out. Um, so we can just log the data as oh yeah, so it sees the type, current deployment. I guess we just log the response instead of trying to convert it to JSON. Uh, we should probably just log that data. Return the response actually, not log data. Right?
Yeah,
Fleek. If there's an error, we can just say I don't know. As what kind of error would there be, I guess, if we are creating a Fleek function? If the name already exists, we should probably just log the error message likely first.
yeah. Function creation error, something, and then you log the message.
Yeah.
Click function creation field, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
No, but are we logging error or message because we don't actually have a type? So let's just say error for now. So we don't know if there's then throw an error. Throw an error rather. So for like actually every service, we're actually going to need to create um a function that will now export that. So we are not using this because it's not our code. So now that we are done creating this, we can actually just call create function, create Fleek function down here. We don't need this as well. Uh, so now the next function will be to deploy Fleek function here.
yeah.
Let's remove this as well. Oh, no, 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 don't deploy them. Don't delete the entire thing, rather. We actually need a function to upload a file for us as well.
Yeah, that's the one that does
File upload.
the file upload.
Yeah. We didn't even write the type for that.
Mm,
Let's do this one first. So if no free function or Fleek ID, just do invalid parameters or something. A function with declared type is on if I must return a value. It's returning a value. Okay, yeah, we haven't TypeScript errors. So so now that we don't need to create the token access token service all the time, or did we put it inside a function?
you have
We should move this outside.
access to this. Yeah, you should have access to this.
We should move this outside so that we don't have to do it all the time. So when we create a new Fleek service, we already have these two set up.
Mm-hmm.
So now what we now need to do is we need to now deploy the function, then catch any errors. So essentially, we are just doing the same try catch, try
Perfect.
flick functions, deploy, passing passing whatever that object is. Do I need to construct that object? Probably need to construct that object. Deployment, deployment function args, yeah. So function ID CID, and then we just pass the deployment function args down here. Oh god, these TypeScript errors are so annoying. Catch. There's any errors, log the error.
Like deployment error. Yeah.
Deploy flick function args. This is not correct. What does this mean? It says of an unknown type. What does that mean? Function ID CID. It's not correct.
Are you passing it correctly?
Let me just check
I don't
this.
think you need this color
Oh yeah, I don't need that
because
actually.
this is
You're
already
right.
an object.
So then I return that response. Else I throw an error like I have here, so that it terminates the program.
Mm-hmm.
I will need more error handling in this code though, but for now, deploy fig function. So we export this as well. I will return it actually. Um, then the other function we need now is to list flick function, which is like
The
a straightforward. Let's do list flick functions, a very straightforward function. All we're doing is this to like list the functions. Yeah, which is correct. Catch any errors, return the response. Um, why is saying there's an error? Well, I'm not closing this up, but then there's an
yes.
error here as well.
So you say return. What's the problem with this?
It's missing from the
Mm,
following type. Oh, it's saying the type is not correct. It's not supposed to be an array. So now it's saying the type is not correct. Let's view the type, see what comes back. So what comes back from this? So it's a pic that contains created art. Oh, I don't think it's actually complete. Current deploy. Oh wait, book URL, project ID. But we just ran the function and it went through. So it's saying the types don't
yeah, I
match.
think we need to pass that peak uh, because wait.
Let's review the type. Let me
Mm,
just comment out all this code. So the only function there is, let me run this test file again. So now what comes back? This is the response now.
yeah, I think the problem is that what we have, what we're getting back from the response is not
Mhm.
essentially everything that is in the response. So I think that
We need to pick.
um, we need to pick exactly. So we are not trying to like return everything that is inside of
So the type of
yeah.
um list flick flick. Let me just expand this. Genre response. So now be a case of us picking. So it requires what? At least two arguments. I can make this any or something. So everything is fine now.
I think okay. We do this too. Let's see if this will work here.
We need one more function to upload the file,
Uh, okay.
which means we need to
So that
write
one is
type.
also straightforward now. First,
Yeah, flick storage, upload, response. So we need a function to upload files for us. Um, what do we get back from that function? So let's just try to run this real quick. Let's test file. So let's just remove this so that it doesn't clutter the terminal. Oh wait, don't delete it, just move it. So I want to log the upload file results. So let me just run test file again. Somebody says hello in the comments.
so we have
Hi.
just oh none. Hello, hello. Uh, it's afternoon here. Yeah, so good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. So we have just string and a size number coming back, but both of them are inside pin. That means Copilot actually knows this code. And this is a number. Oh, and there's a
So this
duplicate.
is it. Yeah.
So in case a file is a duplicate, so this is that true or false then. And I guess I can just put this here.
Instead of having two of us, what do you think? It's
What do you
not.
say? Boolean.
Yeah, you need two of us. That's
Yeah,
like
my bad.
essentially calling.
My bad. Code is so weird. It's like speaking. There's like different ways to say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Um,
storage. Fix storage upload
so let's
response.
just copy it. Yeah.
So you want to implement that?
And
Okay.
yeah. So what is the you call it function and then storage, right? If
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not mistaken.
Storage dot
Uh,
upload
upload. So
file.
are we
Yeah.
passing anything to upload?
Yeah, for upload file, we need to pass in the path to that file.
Okay. So
But I'm
parts.
kind of curious because when this is in like a server environment, how are we going to actually get that file to upload it? Because
When
I'm curious of when this is in a server environment, how we are going to get that file to then upload it. Like how are we going to link to that file? So upload file, what does it take? It just
okay.
takes a path, right? Does this mean we can
Yeah.
pass any path like whatsoever to it? Why is throwing an error? Oh no, no, it's not functions, it's flick SDK dot
Storage.
storage. Yeah, the upload file. So let me see. Upload file, what does it take? It just takes a file. So we need an actual file, not parts. What is file? File like which is from this type.
File. Is it like a normal file?
Buffer or
Let me
something.
see.
I'm trying to enter the type. So I'm thinking it's a file buffer or something like that.
Let's file like. Let's file like.
Yeah, don't know why it's not allowing me
Oh,
to
this
see.
is coming from a package, I think.
Yeah, let me just look that up. So this package provides the low level client API for uploading data to Web3 dot storage using the W3 up platform. Most users will be better served by higher level detail clients, package reference, one API. So essentially, they have all these like, oh, they haven't used them for like agents now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Can create an agent with this now. That's nice. You can use them to like upload file. Now to upload the file, you take conf and the blob, or you can create a new file, give it the contents, and uh give it a direct like a path or something like that. Those are some functions though. Let me see this here file. Do they have like file like or something here? Maybe this doesn't seem like it. At least not on here. Maybe in their docs. There's no file. No
Like a
no.
file like
Yeah, I was looking for it. That is like Filecoin and stuff. I guess what I'm trying to see is if we put this on like if you deploy this now as a Fleek plugin, or you want to deploy any file, can you is there any other function we can call? I guess is what I'm looking for. But wait, they were calling upload file here, right? Or am I tripping? So for upload file, you can actually take in yeah, but the same upload file just has the same name. I don't think it's the same thing.
so I think we can even get we can let's see first. Try to copy um this file. I can see if we can pass it as it still requires I see.
What's
Doesn't
that? What
make
did you try?
sense. No, I was trying to see if I could export like uh, that type, but it has to be. This one is inside the SDK, so we have to like I don't know find a way to add this to the plugin or something. But
Or another solution would have been for the users to go and put the file somewhere and get the URL to it, but, because that would have been so much easier. But I'm not exactly sure because and then with our own code we just have to fetch that
we
file
just have to get
and
the file.
yeah.
Okay. So, but that would mean they won't be using the Flick storage to store the file.
Yeah, they would be, but the file needs to be somewhere first because how are they actually uploading the file? Or wait, what if we can read the file? Because for most clients, we can actually upload documents. I mean, Telegram can. Um, so if from Telegram we can upload that file, it will have to go to Telegram servers first, but we need to get that file.
Okay. So you're saying like passing like a from like a user input, they upload a file and then you get that file and try to store it for them.
Or there's another option, which is that the user has already uploaded the file on Flick before, and then the user now wants to deploy that file instead.
Okay. So it means that they have
Which
to
means they will
first
pass the
go
CID.
to yeah to upload the file to the Flick storage and then they just get the URL or something and
Yeah, the
pass it.
CID, which is not so bad, which is not such a bad flow for like V1. Or what do you think? Because
Yeah, I think
if they came here to storage, for example, now, and then maybe they just added a new file, they can simply just upload from here, from their local, and then they upload it. But why can't we do that though? Why can't we do that though?
it make more sense if we have everything handled here. So we just know that what the user is, what we need from the user is to just give us like authorization and stuff. So let me see. Upload.
You need to create a file object that Fleek can understand from whatever file the user passes in, which means the
Well, yeah, but where are we getting? Where are we going to be extracting that file? That's another because unless we are expecting the user input particular uh, from a particular source, right? It makes more sense to do it that way. But if not, how do we know where we're getting user input? Can you see hear me, Toby? Like you're frozen. Wow. Or am I the one who's uh, I think Toby has our greatest fear network has happened again. Um, Story back. Oh, disconnected.
I'm back, I'm back, I'm
Hello,
back.
Toby. Okay. I said our greatest fear network.
Yeah, I'm back this time. It's not like before. So I just switched networks. Um what's it called? Zero G can handle like file upload and stuff, yeah. But they require some details from
Okay.
you. So
Okay.
I want to see into their own code how they are handling that upload itself to like okay, like when you say upload, for example, now what do they read? For example, what do they read from your machine or something? So in the action, we can see that
Um,
what am I seeing here?
that these configurations and like settings are they all required? Like,
What do you say?
I'm seeing like a lot of config and yeah, config
Yeah,
configurations and stuff.
yeah, this is for a different plugin.
And okay, so but this is just for like uploading files.
Yeah, that's what the plugin does. So I want to see how they are handling it. So they have a file security validator type apparently that comes from their security package and from their security file inside utils. So what they do here is they validate the file parts. So what are they using? They're using parts from Node.js. Exactly. Wait, so they can read yeah, but from they can use the parts to read from your directory. So they create this file security validator class. What does
Mm-hmm.
it do? It takes in some extensions, upload directory, file size, and they validate the type. They now check parts.x name. file paths dot to lowercase.
Okay.
So these are like validations. So how
I
does
think
this
we
upload
can.
happen? Yeah, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I was thinking there was a way. Like the problem I'm having now is how are we getting if we are going to like be asking them to upload the file, right? How are we getting that file? Like,
Yeah,
are
that's what
we?
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you're using a clients like Telegram or Twitter, the file goes to their own servers if you upload any file. So do we need to go and pay for API to fetch that file or something? Which is why I was thinking that we should put the file on our own servers. We can, but like, how do you do that from like a Telegram or a Twitter or something? If somebody has an idea in the comments, you can also drop it. Which is what I'm curious about.
Uh, and I would have said we should just do uploading like manually uploading on Flick storage, but that sort of I don't know for me just like kills the vibe of having to do um the manual upload first before you can go ahead and like do all that stuff. But I mean that could be like a good starting point if you ask me, Sha. Because what we just need essentially will be like the URL of your deployed file. So if we can get that, I think that one could like
Mm,
because with
oh,
this,
yeah,
I
that's
think
what
they
I'm
are
saying.
good.
We need to download that file first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I just found out that Telegram has like free APIs that we can actually use to download files from, to download content from, and then upload directly to Flick and then deploy for the user. But Twitter has paid APIs, and I think Discord is also free. So this may limit the bots in some regard. I mean, it's the agents
Exactly.
rather, in some regard.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel like it's a surefire solution to upload to Flick first, which is basically what we're doing from the SDK, and then we'll get that ID from Flick, and then I mean we can just increase the requirements of this, or would that be nice too? No, no, it doesn't make sense because we want the agent to be able to deploy any file. Yeah, like you can still do that. Like you just ask the agent to, I mean, you just go to your Flick storage, get the CID of the file, and tell the agent that, oh, I want you to deploy this file for me as a Flick function after you provided these two things. So when you're chatting the agent, you can just be providing the agent that file, I mean, that's ID, and it's to figure it out and it's able to deploy that file for you as a Flick function. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that would be like I mean for me it still like cuts down the whole like autonomous vibe, but it's still good, it's still a good starting point because that way you are very sure that your agent is like getting exactly the exact file which you want to be deployed. So that one should work too. So I've been disconnected from the live share. I don't know if Toby can hear me.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh,
Let me share this. Oh wait, you're still here though on my end.
now, okay.
Let me just let me give you a new link then. I just give you a new link.
Okay.
So yeah, like we were saying, I think it's better for the user to provide the agent the file CID, and then the agents can then deploy whatever file the user wants as a Fleek function. So the user just goes to Fleek storage, uploads that file, gets that CID, and like, oh hey, take this. I want you to deploy this uh
Yeah.
for me.
Mm-hmm. I think that one is also smooth, yeah. So
Because the current solution would require that because if we allow the user to like within the conversation be able to deploy the
mhm,
Fleek function, that means the file must have gone to whatever social medias, unless the user is using like a direct client, because Eliza offers that too. So you can use your agents as a normal backend for a front end application somewhere. That way it will be
yeah.
much easier because everything will be directly on Fleek. But because we're using some other clients, we may need the user to like go and upload that file, get that CID, and then tell the
Mm-hmm.
agent to deploy that. So maybe we don't
Yeah.
need this upload file then. We just need to change this upload file to something else that that takes in a CID. Oh wait, am I tripping? We just need to change this flick function rather to grab the CID, the deploy rather to grab the CID directly from runtime. So whenever so the place we'll be calling this deploy function, we'll be grabbing it from conversation, which means we need to like pass maybe
Pass
if we
DCI.
yeah we need to pass maybe the conversation um like sentence or something. The user is having a chat with the agent, so we need to pass that conversation, extracts that string that we need, and then so maybe that means we need to like enforce the user to speak in a certain way, I guess. So the user says, "Oh, this is my CID." So the user will be like, "Oh, this is my CID." Take that string, then use that string to sort of because if the user
Mm-hmm.
writes any random thing and put CID there, we may not be able to pass that sentence.
You have to difficult to extract to know which
Yeah.
is CID. I get what you're saying.
So the user needs to say a specific thing that will tell them to say. Like, okay, this is my CID. Then we'll extract that. Then the user can now say anything else they like, oh, I want you to create a flick function for me, or I want you to deploy this flick function or something like that. Then we can figure it out, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Or instead of doing that, could we do it such that if we have um could you the user comes and say, okay, could you deploy a Flake function for me or something? The first thing the agent should respond back with it should be like, oh, good,
Upload.
can you yeah, can you
Yeah.
upload this on Flick and then send your CID
CID,
or
yeah.
type exactly.
Yeah.
So whatever the person says, you just know you're expecting just the CID. So you send the CID, then afterwards the conversation could be
Oh yeah, that makes sense. The agents ask to respond anyways. So um the agents just respond with steps on how to do it, I guess, and be like, send your CID, then tell the agents to deploy, create your function with the name, and then deploy the function. So I guess that makes sense.
yeah.
So we don't need this upload file then. So I guess the three actions are staying. We need to remove this from here. Uh yeah, now we need to now start. I mean, we've written the services we need. So these are all the services needed. We just need to remove this one because we're not uploading. If this was a normal backend, it would have been so much easier because we will just read the file from the user's local parts and upload it. Yeah, so we've written this now. The services has been written. Um, Now we need to now focus on the actions, or should we do the examples or something?
So what do we have? Actions. I think we should do the actions next.
Okay. So
Okay,
actions
let's
to
do
create
that.
Fleek function. So let's just see what Neda did here. Plug into this one. So let's see actions code. So you did this one, get upward. So for you to use an action, you need to create like an action object, and that has so many things like the name of the action, similes, what maybe words can trigger the action or something. Description of the action. You need to write a validator. And this basically just runs our service that we just wrote now, which is validate the NASA config from our no sorry not not the service rather this EMV one we just wrote now to validate that you have everything that you need in
Mm-hmm.
your to ensure that it runs well. And then we'll now write a handler, which is where most of the logic is. Most times we'll first check the runtime, ensure that all the details that we need are there, create a service. And to create a service, we need the NASA API key. What's our own service taking? Okay, project ID and path. Then we create a service. Then
Yeah,
we'll now
partner.
try, yeah, we'll try the NASA service dot whatever function we wrote. If it's success, can write a callback as well, which is what to be returned, like the text. Oh, that's nice. And then if there's any error, we can throw this. Can write the Eliza logger, error fetching, something, something. And then the examples as well will be here. And as action, declare the entire action, which I think is fair. So you can just work with this, I guess. So do you want to edit it?
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, I would. Let me see.
Did your camera go off? Am I still in the stream? It looks like I'm still in the stream. Oh, Emmanuel went off for some reason. Emmanuel, don't tell me network is don't tell me it's your network, bro. Oh yeah. Oh, I just got. Oh, I think his battery. His battery went out. Damn. We're this close to finishing this. Can I actually continue? One sec, guys. One sec, guys. So I guess we're actually almost there. We've done everything needed with the examples. I'm sorry, with the index.ts. We're creating the actions now. That's why this is throwing errors. So we wrote the services well written. So the service actually handle how the actions should work. All we are doing next is to like write the actions to ensure that everything keys in properly. So Emmanuel's battery went out. Let me just check in on that. One sec. Hey guys, so yeah, we may have to actually end the stream now, cause of some things we're trying to figure out. So his battery ran out, and yeah, but I will continue this off stream actually because this is very exciting and something I actually want to ship out soon. So thank you all for watching us, play around with like plugin and Eliza stuff. I'm actually glad you guys are able to join this. Um, so yeah, I'm watching us rambling and live and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be focusing on implementing these three actions, as well as maybe testing every other thing I need to test out to ensure that the plugin works as it should. And I'll be shipping this soon, so watch out for that. And thank you all for joining, and catch you all same time, same places next week. Bye, everyone.